Welcome to the Arizona State Retirement System web-based contribution reporting instructions. After reviewing this presentation, if you have any questions, please be sure to share them during the Employer Basics Conference. When you first log into the ASRS portal, the first screen you'll see is your profile screen. In this screen, please ensure that you have access to Maintain Payroll, Maintain Payroll Payment, Maintain ACR Web-Based, PDA and Term Pay Specialist. Once you have these roles, you are now ready to start reporting contributions. To begin reporting for web-based employers, the first thing you'll need to do is under the left-hand navigational panel, go to Maintain Employees under the Contribution Reporting section. The Maintain Employee screen should show you the applied fiscal year. Please ensure that this is in the correct fiscal year, or go ahead and select from the drop-down the correct fiscal year and apply the rates. You'll also want to make sure that the contribution rates displayed above are the current year fiscal year rates. The next step you'll want to do is to make sure that everyone on the employee list is current employees and that you have no one to activate or deactivate. If you need to activate or deactivate employees, go to the bulk operations and simply select the people you need to deactivate. If there's a previous employee that needs to be activated, you'll select them and click View Update Employees. If you need to add in a new employee, you'll select the Add New Employee button and enter their information on the next screen. If you've selected the Add New Employees, you'll want to make sure that you go through and enter all the data on the screen. Employee type will be the number of months that they work, the member type will be plan, the status should stay active, and the employee classification should stay service. You'll want to go ahead and enter their gross, that is per their payroll, and if you have any service purchase, you'll want to go ahead and enter that information as well. Once you have entered all the information, go ahead and save changes. Once you've had all of your employees on your payroll report that match your payroll list, you can now go into each employee by selecting the View and Update and enter their gross for this reporting pay period. To view update the employee's information, you'll go to each employee, enter in the base pay that's on your payroll report, any overtime, or any other pay types such as leave of absence, non-standard pay, performance-based pay, or term pay, or any of the other pay types listed. Once you've entered the information, you'll go to Calculate Contribution Amount. You'll verify that the employer contribution and employee contribution match what came out of your payroll report, and you'll go ahead and save that change. Once you've gone through each employee, you are ready to start your current pay period summary. To start your current pay period summary, you'll go into the left-hand navigational panel under Contribution Process and select the Pay Period Summary screen. You'll add the pay period end date for the reporting period and select Add PPE. This will add in a new line in the pay period summary table. Please remember to check the pay period end date at this time. This is the only time that you can delete this row from the pay period summary report. Once you generate your CSR, this pay period can no longer be removed or edited. Check that your retirement gross and contributions match the payroll file on this screen. These are auto-filled and cannot be adjusted. If you want to submit any late charges, you can add it in the late charge box here. You'll go in and add your LTD gross and your LTD withholdings from your payroll report. Your service purchase amount will automatically be pulled in as well, so you'll want to check that the total matches your payroll report. You'll now want to go into Calculate and save your CSR. Do not submit. You are not done yet. Now that all your amounts have been entered, you'll want to go in and make sure that everything entered, that your LTD amounts pulled over, your service purchase amounts pulled over, and everything is matching your payroll report. Once you've checked that the total credits match and you do not have any adjustments for prior pay periods, you can submit your CSR. However, if you have any adjustments, please select Return to the Pay Period Summary screen at the bottom of this page. If you have adjustments and you've clicked on that Return to the Pay Period Summary screen, this will take you back to your pay period information table. On the left-hand side under Operations Available, you'll simply click on Edit Adjustments. You'll go down and select the employee that you need to do an adjustment for. If the employee is inactive, you'll need to go back to Maintain Employees and update the employee's status. This will require a gross salary to be entered of at least 0.01, which will result in a current retirement contributions for this pay period of retirement EE and ER of $0. You want to ensure that you do not add any gross that is not reported on your pay period report. Once you've activated that employee, you can go back into your edit adjustments and select that employee, and their status should now say active. And then you want to add new for the adjustment. The new screen will come up, which will allow you to enter the information for your adjustment. You want to make sure that the PPE date that you're entering is for the pay period that you are expecting to adjust. Pay type is a drop down, and it should be what that adjustment is for, whether it's base pay, overtime, or any of the other pay types. Enter that information's pay period. If you are doing a credit, this amount will be negative. You'll also enter the employee contribution and the employer contribution. Note, if you are taking a credit, this amount should also match the negative amount of the gross. Hours worked must be completed. Please make sure that you submit at least 1 hour. Please enter any comments that are needed for this adjustment and select Save. Once you have added all of the adjustments for your pay period, you'll go back to the pay period summary screen. Next to your pay period date, you'll see your CSR status says Saved. Please select the word Saved. At this time, you'll notice that none of your adjustment information has been brought into your pay period. You'll need to go down to the bottom of this page in order to enter that information in. You'll need to go to the bottom of this page and regenerate the CSR in order to bring in those adjustments. Once your CSR has been regenerated, each of the fields will populate and you'll see the adjustment amounts. If you have any further LTD adjustments, please enter it. And any late charges, you can enter those as well. Then calculate and save that CSR. And then once you've done that, you can go ahead and verify that the new totals match, and you can verify and submit your CSR. The next thing you'll want to do is go back to your pay period summary screen. You'll select Add ACH Payment on the right hand under the Operations Available. On this screen, you'll want to check your CSR grand total matches your check for your pay period. You'll want to make sure that the requested deposit date is at least one day in the future. You'll also want to make sure that you add in any notes for the pay period that you have in here and go ahead and submit the ACH once all the amounts are in and match. Once you've finished the Make ACH payment, you've now completed your reporting the contributions to Arizona State Retirement System. You'll see that your PPE date shows a CSR status of submitted, ACH status of either pending or deposited, file status of received, over short if any. And once you've done that, you are now completed for this pay period. Service purchase payroll deductions authorizations, or PDA agreement for shorts, are another important role in reporting contributions to the Arizona State Retirement System. ASRS members may be eligible to purchase ASRS service credit for time worked for other public employers or to reinstate previously forfeited ASRS service credit. There are multiple payment options for members who are purchasing service credit in the ASRS. One of these payment options is an irrevocable PDA through their ASRS employer. When a member elects to use a PDA, the employer users with the PDA interim pay specialist role at their employer will receive a secure message notifying the employer to begin implementing a PDA. The notification will include the deduction amount, the total number of deductions, and when to start deducting and remitting the payments. There will not be a separate notification to alert the employer that the PDA has been fully paid. PDA payments are reported with regular contributions and are noted on the contribution summary report in the service purchase section. The member is responsible to check their paycheck to ensure deductions have begun. The IRS does not allow makeup of payments. If a PDA payment did not begin on time, the term of the PDA must stay the same length and have a later start and end date. At the time of signing a PDA, the member may elect to use pre-tax termination pay towards the balance of their PDA at termination. Like the PDA itself, this addendum to use termination pay is an irrevocable election. A member may also make an irrevocable election to use termination pay toward the service purchase of credit within a narrow window several months before retirement. This would be a separate pay from a PDA. An employer administrator must sign the PDA interim pay specialist role from the maintained employer users page. Users with this role will receive a secure message when an employee has elected to use a PDA. Please make sure to implement the PDA according to the document the ASRS sends to you as the employer. Report each deduction along with each regular payroll and contribution submission only. If you're paying the balance of contract, such as when the employee is under a 9 or 10-month contract, please make sure to make the same number of PDA payments on the balance of contract as the number of regular pay periods represented by this balance of contract payment. Review Chapter 7 of the Employer Manual for more information about the employer's responsibilities involved in the member service purchase programs. Next, we wanted to go over how to set up a new service purchase in the system. First thing you would do is go to your Maintain Employees and select the employee name of the new service purchase. Navigate to the Contribution Reporting section on the left-hand side and select Maintain Employee. This will open your list of employees. Click the View Update on the employee with the new PDA. This will open the employee's information for editing. Under Service Purchase Details, you will see the Agreement button. Select New Agreement. This will now allow you to enter the details of the PDA. You will start by entering a new agreement number. Each site has their own system for this number. Please make sure not to duplicate a service purchase number that has previously been used for this same employee. From the PDA agreement, you'll enter the following: number of deductions, deduction amount, the total cost of the agreement, and the effective start date of the agreement. Once you've entered all of this, add agreement, and this will take you back to your Maintain Employee page, and you'll want to make sure to save changes. If you see that the PDA has a yes in the term pay, please make sure to submit any applicable funds upon the employee leaving your employment. Next, we're going to talk about the alternative contribution reporting. Legislation passed in 2011 under Senate Bill 1609, authorizing the Arizona State Retirement System to implement an alternative contribution rate, or ACR for short, to employers who hire ASRS retirees to return to work. The rate will be charged and remitted to the ASRS by the employer. The purpose of this legislation is to mitigate the potential actuarial impact that retired members who return to work may have on the trust fund. We bring up ACR simply for showing you how to report and make any corrections if needed. Please refer to the Return to Work Basics presentation for the ins and outs of ACR. Both web-based and file upload contribution reporting have the same process for ACR reporting to the Arizona State Retirement System. To begin the process, you will select Start ACR under Contribution Reporting. Add in your pay period end date and select Next. This will bring you to the file upload screen. You want to choose your file here and make sure that you are uploading a file with the .csv file extension. Once you have your file selected, the file name will appear next to the Choose File button. Select Next. If you have any errors in your file, the screen will display with what rows have an error. Note that row 1 is counted as a header line. Line 2 is the first line of data on your file. In order to upload the file, all errors need to be corrected at this time. Simply choose File once you have corrected all the file errors in your file and select Next. Once you have a corrected file uploaded into our system, you'll see that every person is displayed below along with the PDE date, the gross amount, and the ACR employer amount, and whether or not they are direct hire, indirect, or contractor. Once you have verified that everything on this screen matches your payroll report, you can select Next. This will take you to the payment screen. This is the same as your web-based contribution reporting payment screen. After payment has been submitted, you would have completed the ACR process. Please note, ACR cannot be completed without a good file and associated payment. Late charges are automatically created and cannot be edited or reversed once payment has been submitted. If you have any questions, please reach out to the CA team prior to submitting your ACR and payment. Thank you for joining us in the web-based contribution reporting presentation portion of Basics.